more cuts ahead in Colorado after state leaders learned about another big hole in our budget.
The budget just went into effect on July 1st. Now, the governor's office of state planning and budgeting says impacts from the big, beautiful bill mean more cuts need to be made, and soon. That office says lawmakers must cut around $1 billion from this year's budget to address tax revenue reductions caused by the federal spending. That is on top of the $1.2 billion in cuts that were already made. Those initial cuts were due to the rising costs of health care and education and led to extensive cuts to planned spending on state services. Your reporter Kirsten Susel joins us live at the state capitol tonight.
And Kirsten, Democrats and Republicans disagree about how we got here, but they both agree something needs to be done.
Yeah, and right now a special session is likely needed to address this $1 billion shortfall. Colorado leaders say the state is disproportionately affected by the big, beautiful bill because it is one of 4 states that mirrors or aligns with federal tax policy. But the path forward is complicated.
That's actually a staggering number that we're going to have to adjust this budget, which we already adjusted by $1.1 billion.
The expectation is that a special session will be called sooner rather than later.
Because every day that goes on, the cuts get bigger. So we have to tell the agencies stop spending.
While there's a lot of work to be done to make up for such a massive shortfall, it doesn't appear Republicans and Democrats are on the same page about much, including how the state got to this point to begin with.
On June 30th, we had a balanced budget. And then on July 4th, we had a $1.2 billion hole.
On July 1, our budget was balanced, and on July 4th, we had a $1.2 billion hole. Wrong. On June 15th, we knew that we were already dipping into reserves to the tune of about $84 million. We learned that because of the structural deficit we're in, that we didn't make enough ongoing general fund cuts in the budget.
Republican Senator Barbara Kirkmeyer sits on the Joint Budget Committee and says blame on the federal budget is inflated.
They tried to insinuate that we're going to have to shut off the family affordability tax credit and the earned income tax credit because of those crazy Republicans trying to give us a tax break in D.C. Director Ferrandino, the governor's budget guy, told us back in June that he assumed that both of those tax credits would be triggered and they would be shut off prior to the federal bill passing.
But regardless of how and why, the fact is Colorado is facing a massive shortfall and will be receiving less tax revenue. The tax cuts, a big cost for a small benefit to Democrats.
Our job just got a lot harder, and what my hope is that the legislature will come together and we will agree on priorities and that we will try to make the cuts that are going to be the least harmful to the most people in our state.
Now, legislative Democrats held a committee today to speak with stakeholders and industry leaders to get a full picture of the scope of impact this federal budget bill will have. That includes cuts to SNAP and insurance benefits. Live in Denver, Kirsten Susel covering Colorado First.